Every time I met someone, I thought, this could be it. I'd pour everything into the relationship, hoping it would last. But why did I always end up feeling worse than before?
They say love is supposed to make you happy. But every time I see people online, smiling together, I just feel worse. Why can't I be like them? Why am I not enough?
Michael and Sarah's stories are not unique. They reflect a deeper truth about human nature, our relentless craving for love. But as the philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once said, we forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like others. This rings true when we chase love, bending ourselves to fit someone else's expectations, hoping to feel complete. In this video, we'll explore why the desire for love often leads to suffering, why our understanding of love has been distorted, and how breaking free from this craving can lead to absolute freedom. Along the way, we'll draw on insights from philosophy to uncover what love truly means and how to live without being enslaved by its pursuit. By the end, you'll see that love isn't something to chase. It's something to give freely. And when you let go of the need for love, you'll discover a new kind of peace. But why do so many of us struggle with this idea? It often starts with misunderstanding what love truly is. Let's begin with one of the most common misconceptions. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "Marry and you will regret it. Don't marry, you will also regret it." While Kierkegaard was reflecting on human indecision, this quote also reveals something about how men often confuse love with desire, leading to regrets and disappointment. Many men fall into the trap of mistaking physical attraction for love. They see beauty or charm and think, this must be it. This is love. But what they're really experiencing is fleeting desire, driven by biology, not emotional connection. Think about this. How often have you heard stories of men pouring their energy, time, and even money into relationships that didn't have a real foundation? This happens because they're blinded by what they want in the moment, not by what they truly need, a meaningful bond. The result? Men end up in relationships that feel shallow or one-sided. They compromise their own needs, lose their sense of purpose, and feel empty when the initial thrill wears off. As Plato warned in the Symposium, love is a serious mental disease. It blinds us to reality and leads us down paths we might not have chosen if we were thinking clearly. But this misunderstanding of love isn't just limited to men. Women face their own struggles, often shaped by societal pressures that define how love and attention should look. Jean-Jacques Rousseau once said, "Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains." In today's world, many of these chains are invisible, created by societal pressures and expectations. For women, one of these chains is the constant need for attention, often mistaken for love. Society has conditioned women to associate their worth with how much attention they receive. This can lead to behaviors where validation becomes a priority, whether it's through social media, appearance, or fitting into societal standards. Women are encouraged to seek love externally, believing it will make them feel whole. For example, many women focus heavily on their physical appearance, thinking that attracting attention will bring them closer to love. They might dress a certain way, act a certain way, or post curated versions of their lives online. As one prominent philosopher pointed out, much of this behavior is shaped by societal norms rather than true individuality. The problem is, this attention rarely translates into genuine love or fulfillment. It often leads to comparison, insecurity, and an endless cycle of seeking more validation. What's worse, it reinforces the belief that love is something you have to earn by meeting external standards. But this constant craving for love doesn't just affect individual confidence. It creates a sense of restlessness that permeates every aspect of life. As Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "It is not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages." This quote points to a deeper truth. The restlessness we feel when chasing love isn't because we're incomplete, but because we misunderstand what we're looking for. The desire for love keeps us constantly on edge. When we crave love, our thoughts revolve around what we lack, whether it's a partner, affection, or a sense of belonging. This mental and emotional restlessness becomes exhausting, leaving us unable to fully enjoy the present moment. Think about the way people endlessly scroll through dating apps, obsessively check for messages, or compare their relationships to those of others. Social media amplifies this restlessness, showing us curated highlights of others' lives, making us feel like we're missing out. As a result, we start believing that once we find love, everything will fall into place. But this restlessness doesn't just affect our emotional state, it also pulls us away from what truly matters, our purpose in life. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But when the desire for love takes over, it often shifts our focus from our own growth and purpose to external validation, leaving us feeling lost. The pursuit of love can consume enormous amounts of time and energy. People spend hours trying to impress someone, overanalyzing interactions, or recovering from heartbreak. This emotional distraction pulls them away from what truly matters, their goals, passions, and personal development. Consider someone who dreams of starting a business, pursuing art, or achieving a fitness goal. If they're constantly chasing love or trying to maintain a relationship that isn't aligned with their values, their ambition takes a back seat. The philosopher Confucius warned, "He who chases two rabbits catches neither." When love becomes a distraction, it divides attention and makes it harder to succeed. But this distraction isn't inevitable. When we let go of this craving, we can realign with our goals and discover a deeper sense of fulfillment, one that comes not from seeking love, but from giving it. The desire for love can also erode our self-worth. Many people tie their sense of value to whether or not they are loved by others. This creates a dangerous cycle where their self-esteem depends entirely on external validation. Alan Watts once said, "You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself." This reminds us that our intrinsic worth isn't tied to others' opinions, but to our own experience of life. When we chase love, we often try to mold ourselves into what we think others want. This can lead to insecurity, self-doubt, and a loss of authenticity. The more we seek validation externally, the more fragile our self-esteem becomes. But when we break free from the craving for love, we reconnect with our true selves. We discover that our worth is inherent, not something that needs to be earned or proven. Letting go of the need for love doesn't mean rejecting connection. It means finding confidence and peace within ourselves. When we stop seeking validation, we can build relationships based on mutual respect and authenticity rather than dependency. As Rumi once said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. This profound insight challenges the way most people understand love. Love isn't something you find, possess, or earn. It's something that flows naturally when you remove the expectations and fears surrounding it. Many of us have been taught that love is about attachment, possession, or fulfilling a set of conditions. If they love me, they'll do this, or I'll feel loved when I find someone perfect. But this isn't love. It's a transaction built on expectations. True love, in contrast, is selfless, free from conditions, and deeply rooted in understanding and care. When love is misunderstood, it often turns into a craving, and as Buddha taught, desire is the root of all suffering. While love itself can bring joy and connection, when it becomes a craving or attachment, it inevitably leads to pain. When we desire love, we create expectations, how it should look, how it should feel, and how others should respond to us. But the reality rarely matches our imagination. When these expectations aren't met, we feel hurt, disappointed, or even resentful. The suffering isn't caused by love itself, but by the unmet desire tied to it. For example, someone might expect constant attention or affection from their partner. When this doesn't happen, they feel neglected, even though the partner might still care deeply. This shows how desire turns love into a source of anxiety rather than fulfillment. The problem becomes more significant when people attach their identity to being loved. They think, if I'm not loved, I'm not worthy. This mindset creates insecurity and fear, making relationships fragile and dependent on constant reassurance. But letting go of this craving doesn't mean rejecting love altogether. It means detaching from the need to control it, allowing it to flow naturally and without suffering. And yet, the challenges don't stop there. Even societal systems capitalize on this vulnerability. In today's world, the human need for love has become a commodity. Businesses have discovered that by tapping into our deepest desires for connection, they can turn love, or rather, the illusion of love, into a highly profitable industry. As Erich Fromm explained in The Art of Loving, modern man thinks he loses something, time, when he does not do things quickly. Yet he does not know what to do with the time he gains except kill it. This applies to how companies exploit our emotional vulnerabilities, offering superficial substitutes for genuine connection, which only distract us from deeper, more meaningful experiences. Take platforms like dating apps or social media as examples. These businesses capitalize on our longing for intimacy and attention. Dating apps, for instance, don't just help people connect. They keep users swiping, searching for the one, but the constant influx of options often leaves people feeling more restless and disconnected. Instead of fostering meaningful connections, these platforms create dependency, making users believe that love is just one more match away. Social media plays its role too, encouraging people to share curated versions of their lives to gain likes, comments, and followers. It's a cycle of seeking validation that's marketed as connection, but rarely fulfills the deeper need for love. This exploitation not only drains people emotionally, but also reinforces the false belief that love can be bought, earned, or measured. True love, however, cannot be commodified. It's about giving freely, as Søren Kierkegaard said. Love does not alter the beloved, it alters itself. To break free from this cycle, we must recognize how these systems prey on our vulnerabilities. Real love isn't found in a transaction, it's built through genuine care, time, and connection. Epictetus said, "Freedom is about letting go of what you can't control." This includes letting go of wanting love too much. When you stop depending on others for love, you can find happiness and confidence in yourself. Wanting love too badly can distract you from your goals and make you vulnerable. But it's not love that causes pain, it's the craving for it. Letting go of this craving frees your energy and brings peace. Freedom comes when you stop chasing love and realize it's already inside you. Living fully and honestly helps you connect with others in healthier ways. Next time you feel incomplete, ask yourself, are you chasing love to feel whole? Focus on living your best life instead. The love you're seeking might already be within you.